All right, hello everybody. Looks like we're live. Awesome. How's it going? My name's Paul. I'm with the Dicey Review. And tonight we're going to be doing a live playthrough of Coffee Roaster from Stronghold Games here. And this is a really cool game. It's a solo-only game. It's a bag builder, which I love. I love bag building games. And this is a very interesting game. We are playing coffee roasters who are trying to roast the perfect blend of coffee. And the way that we're going to do that is we're going to take multiple roasting rounds where we will roast our coffee beans over and over again and increase their value and use our flavor tokens and things of that nature to activate cool special abilities. And then at the end of the game, when we decide to do a cup testing phase, which is going to be the second part of our phases that we'll take, we will draw components, chips out of our bag and try and fill up the cup with different values of coffee, and we're going for a perfect score. So we're trying to brew the Sierra Maestra blend from Cuba here, and this blend is going for an ideal roast value of 14. So basically that means we're going to try and get coffee beans worth a total of 14 in our cup. We are looking for one red, green, and blue flavor token in the cup at the end of the game, which is the different flavors that make up the coffee, the body, and the things like that. And then in addition, if we can get coffee bean values of the same type, multiple values at the end of the game, we'll get a bonus for that as well. We're trying to avoid having smokiness in our coffee cup. We're trying to avoid having bad beans in our coffee cup, some of those bad beans. We're generally just trying to fill up our cup with the best things that we can. So, we're, like I said, we're going to be trying to blend, roast the Sierra Maestra blend. And I will read a little bit about the Sierra Maestra blend. So settle in and listen to this cute story. Coffee plants on the run. In the 18th century, after French farmers escaped from the turmoil on the island of Hispaniola and fled to Cuba, they began growing coffee besides sugarcane and tobacco. Due to the crisis triggered by the revolution, soon there were no longer any incentives for coffee cultivation. Many plantations were abandoned. Only investment by the government allowed the coffee business to thrive again. Thanks to the fact that the relatively low-lying growing region provides many nutrients, the rustic flavor of the coffee comes into effect with the emphasis of a smoky, nearly sweet and earthy tobacco character. The constitution of the beans and their balance being easy to maintain make them suitable for beginner roasters. And if there's something that I am, it is a beginner roaster. I've played this game maybe 6 or 7 times, if that, so not a master by any stretch of the imagination. I do have a delicious cup of coffee here with me, so I'm prepared thematically to play the game. The level of moisture in our bag indicates which round we start in, so we have 2 moisture in our starting bag here in our coffee. So with 1 or 2 moisture in your bag, you start on this 9 round marker. And then this scenario asks us to place these different chips in our bag. So I have them all prepared, ready to go here. And we are now going to place all of the chips in the bag and begin by going into a roasting phase. So what we do, we have multiple roasting phases that are triggered by that are tracked by this marker. As we go along the board here, we're going to have roasting phase after roasting phase after roasting phase. And what we're doing in these phases is we are increasing the value of our coffee beans. So the more rounds you go, the higher the value of your bean. The more and more they get roasted, the darker they are. But you run a risk, the more you go, of getting more smoke tokens in your bag, which are bad. And then also you run a risk of burning some of your beans, which we don't want to do. But in a roasting phase, it's very simple. What we're going to do is we're going to start off by drawing chips from the bag equal to the round that we're in. So in this first draw, we're going to draw 9 chips from our bag. And then we can do some things, and I'll talk about some of the things that we can do. First and foremost, if you draw any moisture, it immediately evaporates and just goes away. So we've got, let's see here, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, we don't really have a ton that we can do in our first few rounds. You can use these little tokens right here, these flavor tokens for special abilities. They will let you do certain things. You can place them on the left side of the board if the color of the board space allows it. So for instance, I could place a blue flavor token right here, here, or here, and that would potentially do a thing for me. But in the early rounds, it's not as advantageous to do that. What we can do is we can work on buying this wild flavor token, which will be very advantageous. So what we can do is you can place one of your 0 value chips here. So I do want to do that. And what we're doing here is we're paying the cost to eventually unlock this wild flavor token. And the wild flavor token is awesome because it can be used as any color. It is wild, which gives us some flexibility, which is nice. We could, like I said, we could use some of these tokens over here if we wanted to. We could use one of our blue tokens to do this action or this immediate action. These do specific things for you. They let you draw chips out of the bag. They let you get rid of smoke tokens, things like that. You can also start paying the flavor tokens over on the right side of your board to take actions to unlock these in-game scoring chips, and they're all really powerful and very nice. I like to unlock these two, the top and the bottom. This gives you an extra space that you can dump bad chips at the end of the game during your cup testing phase, which is fantastic. This one lets you draw 2 chips per space on the second row when you're doing your cup testing phase. So basically, all of these chips allow you to kind of manipulate how you score your cup at the end of the game, so that's pretty fantastic. So we can do all of that throughout the game. We can use our tokens to do that. The only tricky thing is if we're going to use our tokens to take these flavor actions over on the right side of the board, we have to resolve the actions if we place the token. And we can't really do that right now for a number of reasons, which I'll talk about as we're going through here. So it looks like we're pretty much just going to let these beans roast a little bit. We get rid of the moisture. Immediately it goes away. Moisture is just kind of a dead chip in our bag that doesn't really do anything. And since we're not using any of these chips, we just roast these beans. So during at the end of this phase, all of these beans increase their value by 1, right? So these zeros will all become a 1. Now, in certain special rounds that are indicated by these red stripes, all of the tokens will increase by 2 in value. But we are not in a special phase. We are in a normal phase. So these 4 zeros are going to turn into 4 1s. And they go into the bag. These chips go back into the bag. And now our roast level is at 4, meaning that we have a value of 4 in our bag right now. And that is how a roast phase works. You draw chips out of the bag, and you decide if you want to do things with those chips, or if you want to roast, leave coffee bean chips to roast and increase in value. So now we're going to be in round 10 here, this 10 space. And when you cross over these smoke tokens, they immediately go into your bag, and that's bad. The smoke tokens are not great. But kind of the good news for us is that we are in a double roast round, which is actually good for me because I have a ton of zeros in my bag. I've got a bag full of nothing, and I'd like for that to increase by quite a bit. So since we are on the 10 space, we're going to draw 10 chips out of our bag. So let's see here. We've drawn 6 so far, it looks like. And let's see, 7, 8, 9. Let me make sure, 5, yeah, 9. One more chip. And booyah, 10 chips. So we are good to go. We've got our 10 chips here. So now we're going to go ahead and make some decisions. Since this is a double roast round, I'm actually really liking the fact that we just drew a bunch of coffee bean chips because these are all going to increase in our value by 2. So we're going to gain a huge amount in our roast level this round. But we also have some choices to make. We have some beans that we could use potentially to unlock some bonuses. The first thing I'm going to do, I am going to use this 1 right here to unlock the wild flavor token. So we immediately get that. That's great news because the wild flavor token is awesome and we definitely want that. The other thing that we could start doing is we could start, potentially, if we wanted to, we could start unlocking some of these special bonuses. Like I said, I like to go for the top and the bottom. These 2 chips I really enjoy. These chips are good as well. This one counts as a wild flavor token in your cup. You just unlock it, put it on that space. It's a wild flavor token. This one just counts as a 3, so it's like a sure thing. You're going to get a 3 as the first space in your cup during the cup testing phase. And then this one allows you to draw 2 chips after you've put all the things in your cup, and then kind of replace potentially some things. So this one gives you some flexibility as well. But I really like these two because they give you quite a bit of flexibility during the cup testing phase that's nice to have. So I guess I'm trying to decide if I want to start trying to unlock these tokens. I think I do. I for sure want to unlock this one. But the challenge is I may want to wait around, because if I leave all of these bean tokens out and let them just roast, I'm going to gain 2, 4, 6, 12, right? So I'm going to gain 12 value in my bag as far as coffee beans go. And that would be fantastic. So I think I may go ahead and do that. So I'm going to hold off activating any of the other special abilities just yet. And I'm going to let all these beans roast. And it is going to be glorious. So these 5 zeros will all turn into a 2. So we're going to get 5 2s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's only 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. So these are all going to go into the bag. And then this 1 is going to become a 3. Now this is great. We are increasing the value. Like I said, we just increased it, let's see here, by 12, so we're up to 16, right? Yes, we're up to 16 in our bag, which is nice, because at the end of the game, we are hoping to get a score of 14, so we definitely have enough coffee value in our bag to get to our ideal score of 14 points. But we also have some other things to think about. We want to have the right types of flavor tokens in our bag, and we want to try and use chips of the same value in our bag. So ideally we want to get to like value 3. That would probably be pretty good. But let's see what we can do. We'll just see what happens. So we're now going to be in round 11, which means we're going to draw 11 chips from our bag. Now we are not in a double roast round anymore, which is good news. So let's see what we get. How many is that? That is 6. Oh man. Got some stuff here. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We did it. Woohoo! All right. The moisture goes away immediately. So we only have 10, really, that we're working with. And what do we do with these 10? We have some decisions to make. I think we will probably use some of our abilities this round. So these flavor tokens, when you place them on the board, you have to, when you're placing them on the right side to try and unlock tokens, you have to resolve their ability to do that. And we can resolve these abilities this round, so I think we'll be okay. What I'm going to do, I think I am going to try and go ahead and unlock this little extra tray. I'm going to try and unlock that this round. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the red token first. And I'm going to utilize its action. So this red token says that I have to combine 2 coffee bean chips, and then turn them into 1. So I'm going to turn this 2 and this 1 into a 3. I'm going to shoot for going for 3s in my bag at the end of the game, so we can try and have the most. Let's see here, the most 3s in our bag as possible. Try and get some skill point bonuses by having a lot of the same value in our cup. And then 3s will also help us get to our 14 number here. So I have done the action on this flavor token, and putting this flavor token here has gotten me halfway to unlocking this extra tray at the end of the game that will allow me to chunk some chips that I don't need, which is great. And what I can also do is I can use the green token as well. And what the green token does is it's going to let you save 2 beans in the bag without roasting them. So that's not all bad for me. I would like to save this 3 and let it just stay where it is. I don't necessarily want to save this 1. I would like it to become a 2, but it's not all bad having some low chips in your bag at the end of the game, right? It's not terrible, because that will actually sometimes save you. If you're drawing nothing but 3s and 4s, you might, way overshoot your coffee value that you're going for. So after doing that, hello, Cooper Smith, how are you? Yeah, and sorry if sometimes I forget I'm live streaming. If y'all have any questions about the game, if you have any questions about what I'm thinking, the strategy, what's going through my head, please ask away, and I will try and watch the chat to make sure that I answer your questions for you. So now that I've done all this, I think I'm good. I think I'm going to stop. These 2 zeros are going to turn into 2 1s, so my roast value in my bag is going to increase by 2. So that is up to 18. And then this wild token and the smoke are going to go back into my bag. Now we're in round 12. So this is a bit risky. We are going to have 2 more smoke come into our bag, and this round is a double roasting round, which can be amazing. Ooh, Amanda. Hey, Amanda, how's it going? Yeah, so this is a great game. This is a solo-only game. That is something to keep in mind. So this is perfect for live streaming, for one person. But this is a solo-only game. But it's a bag builder, which I love. So if you have, if you're a fan of something like Orleans or the Quacks of Quedlinburg, this one might actually be good for you. You can knock out a game in 15 or 20 minutes. You don't have to play it as slowly as I'm playing it. And there are tons of different roasts to go through. That is one thing that I really enjoy about this game. This is just one scenario, but the book is filled with other scenarios that you can go through. So there's all these different scenarios in the box. And yeah, anytime you get to play a game about coffee, I mean, come on, that's amazing. So we're in round 12. We're hoping that we don't burn every bean in our bag, because that's a possibility. Okay, so we're going to draw 12 chips. We're going to see what happens. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see here. Oh, no. Oh, buddy. That's bad. All right, 6. Draw 6 more. Come on. I pray to the Lord. Come on, 6 more. Did I get the good thing? Okay. Whoa. Okay, this is risky. This could be really good or really bad. Let me see. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Okay, so we definitely have decisions to make in this round. I would love to be able to score at the end of this round. We're actually going to have some pretty good value in our bag. And I would love to, before the round is over, be able to unlock this token. I think we can do it. We have the chips that we need to do it. And I think we have the beans available to do it as well. So when you, like I said earlier, whenever you're trying to unlock these tokens, you have to place a flavor token of the color that's required right here. So we need to put a green, red, or blue right here. And when you put them here on the right side to resolve their flavor actions, you have to resolve the action before you can actually place the token there. And I think we can do that with all of our stuff this round. So what we're going to do is I'm going to first place this green chip, because we have more greens in the start of our bag than any other color. So if we're going to lose a chip, green is better to lose than the other ones. We want to keep these flavor tokens if possible for the end of the game scoring, which is probably going to happen at the end of this round. But we can afford to get rid of a green more than the other ones. So when we place this green token, we're going to go ahead and resolve the action. Oh, perfect. Yeah, if you need more solo games, this is a really good one. This is a great game. This was actually a game that was printed by a Japanese company, and then it was brought over to Europe by a company called DLP Games, and then I think Stronghold Games licensed the game to sell it in the States as well. So it's been this game's like a flat Stanley. It's a world traveler. Okay, so I've placed this right here. And I'm going to save this 3 because I don't want this to double roast, because if it would roast to a 4, that'd be okay. I mean, you would have a 4 in your bag, but then it would burn. There is no 5 value chip. So if it goes above that, it would burn. So I definitely want to put this one back in my bag, and then I think I'll save one of these 2s. So that is going to let me, let's see here. That's going to let me resolve that action, which is good because that will get me halfway to unlocking this token. And then now I have to resolve one of these tokens as well if I want to unlock this last little scoring token right here. And I definitely do. But what I want to think about is which action I want to take. So there's two different actions that you can take with red and blue. If you take a red action with a flavor token, it turns 2 beans into 1 bean. If you take a blue action, it turns 1 bean into 2 beans, which I have to resolve the action. And given the choice out of those two choices, I think I want to turn 2 beans into 1 bean. And the reason for that is that bag building games or deck building games or anything like that they're all about streamlining your bag or your deck or things like that to where you just draw the things that you want to draw. So if I split one of these 2s into 2 1s, it would be 2 things that I might not necessarily want to draw. But if I combine this 2 and this 0, it'll just get rid of a 0 and leave me with a 2, which in my opinion is maybe a better choice. I may be completely wrong. Who knows? But I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and use the red token to turn 2 beans into 1 bean. So I will be turning this 0 and the 2 into a 2. And then this now gets unlocked and gets placed on my cup. This has already been unlocked. Sorry, I should have placed that earlier in this space right here. So I think I have a pretty good setup for scoring. Now what's going to happen is this 0 is going to turn into a 2 because this is a double roasting round because of that red line there. So this is going to turn into a 2. This 2 is going to turn into a 4. And then all of these things are going to go back in the bag. So a couple things that are kind of worrying me about this. I don't like having these bad beans. These are bad beans at the end of the game. If this is in your cup, it's worth -2 points. There's also all the smoke that I gained in this game still in my bag. And actually, my roast level should increase by 4, so I'm at 22. I'm at 22, so I feel pretty okay about potentially getting to 14. And I'm not going to take another roasting round. I'm going to now go into the cup testing phase of the game. And this is essentially the scoring of the game, where you draw things out of your bag and see how well you scored. So during the cup testing phase, we are going to draw chips out of the bag one at a time, and we're going to start placing them in our cup. There's a few things to keep in mind, though. I have unlocked a secondary tray, and these trays allow you to place things in them instead of the cup if you draw something really cruddy that you don't like. Also, I've unlocked a bonus that allows me to, on this second row, draw 2 chips out of the bag each time I want to place something. So I have a little bit more flexibility with what I'm doing here. So let's see here. The first thing I drew out of my bag is bad, garbage, no good. Okay, well, I'm glad I got that out of the way. I don't want to draw that. So let's see what I draw on the second draw. A 1, that's not bad. That's okay. So we are 1/14 of the way to a perfect score in this game. The way the scoring works is if you get 11, 12, or 13 roast points in your cup, you get 5, 6, or 7 points. But if you can get the perfect roast value, it's like the perfect blend, you get to 10 points. So 14 is the perfect score. And then there's a big drop off. If you go past, if you start to burn your coffee a little bit, you burn your cup, 15 points goes down to 6 victory points. So there's actually the possibility that I might choose, if I get really close up there, to have a smoke be in my cup, since it only loses me 1 point as opposed to losing 4 if I go over in value. So I've drawn a 2 in my cup, so now I'm at 3 value. It's not bad. We're looking for coffee beans and flavor tokens to be in our cup to get the best score, which we will go over the scoring here in a second. Perfect. So we're starting off looking really good. We've drawn 1 bad thing, but we've drawn some really good stuff. And now, since we're in our second row, we get to draw 2 chips per turn and decide which one we want to place. So we have drawn a 1. Now I'm actually getting a little bit worried here because we're not drawing any of our high value stuff. So we have to get at least 11 roast points to score anything for our roast value. We don't want to have raw coffee. So I don't know. Out of these 2 choices, I definitely want to place a 1, I think, instead of a smoke. But we need to start drawing some higher value chips, basically, is what I'm thinking. So let's see what we get this time. Uh, this is bad. This is not good. So I want to place this one in my cup. I don't want to place the blue. I want to get rid of this. So I think you can combine those two. I may have just cheated. We'll see. But instead of placing that in my cup, I'm going to place that in my tray. Let's draw two more. Okay, this is better. So now we have a value 2. So now we are at a value of 6. So we're getting there. We are getting there. We're trying to get to 14. Now, unfortunately, we're not in our second row anymore. So now we're only going to get to draw 1 per again. But I'm thinking we may be okay. So this is going to put us at 7, which is not terrible because this would be 3 of 1 chip, which is going to give us a bonus at the end of the game if we have a bunch of chips that are of the same value. But we're not getting close to our point threshold here. So I may risk it. I'm going to put this over here for, oh man, that's dumb. I shouldn't do that. The only problem is if I put it here, I have 4 more spaces to get 7 value. So, oh my gosh. Goodness. Okay, I'll risk it. Oh, that's a bad decision. I'm going to regret that immediately. A 2, that's not bad. Okay. Man, talk about getting sets. So we are now at 9, so we need to start drawing some high value stuff. I know we have it in here. We have 3s in the bag. We have things like that. So let's see what we can do. Oh, this is so tense. What am I going to draw? What's in the bag? What's in the bag? A smoke. I don't like smoke. Get rid of that. It's bad for your lungs. Get out of here. Go back where you came from, smoke. I don't like it. All right. What's here? What is this? A 3. Oh my gosh. Thank you. Okay, so we are now at... Okay, this is going to be if we can draw some flavor tokens. So what are we at? We are at 6, 9, 12. So we need 2 more. We need a 2 value chip and ideally some type of flavor token. And we also, our score is not bad. It's at 6 right now, but it could be so much better if we could get 2 more value in our cup. Let's see what we can do. Oh man. A wild flavor token. Okay, that's not bad. That is good. So we definitely want to put that in there because the more flavor tokens you have at the end of the game that match, the better. But what would be perfect? I know, this is so stressful, Amanda. I'm telling you, like I'm sweating. You don't want to be around here. What is the last draw? What is this? Come on. Whew. Lucky. No whammies. Oh my gosh. Perfect. Oh my goodness. Okay, this is so good. I cannot wait. All right. So this could not have worked out any better. Well, I guess it could have worked out a little bit better, but we got to our ideal score, right? So we are now at 8, 11, 14, which is the perfect score for our roast level. That's fantastic. We got 2 out of the 3 chips that we were wanting to go for, because at the end of the game, we want to have 1 red, green, or blue chip. So we have 2 of the 3, which is going to give us a bonus. But more importantly, we were able to place 4 of the same value and 3 of the same value, which is going to give us another bonus. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to break a world record in this game. That's, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm like 70 to 80% sure that this is a world record. All right, let's see here. Now we get to score it up. So the way scoring works, I have a previous game here that I'm going to score, but I'll show you all how this works. The first thing we do is we score our roast value here. So for the Sierra Maestra, we are trying for 14 points. We have exactly 14 points, which means that we get the max score, which is fantastic. So we get 10 points for that. We then look at the flavor points. So basically the flavor points, this chart over here tells you if you have 1 out of the 3 or 4 required flavors, you get 1 point. If you have 2 out of the 3 or 4 flavors, you get 3 points. If you get 3, you get 6 points. And there are some roasts that'll have 4, where you can get up to 10 bonus points for that. For our situation, we have 2 out of the 3, right? Because we have a blue and we have a wild. So we have a blue and one of the other 2. So we're going to gain 3 points for that. And then we will gain skill point bonuses. So we have 3 of the same value right here for 1, and we have 4 of the same value right here for 2 points, for a total of 3 more points. And we have no gross beans in our bag or smoke. So this is fantastic. So now we are going to lose 0 points for a total of 16 points. We did it. That is actually really, really good. Because the max score you can get on the roast is 10 points. And then the max you can get in most of the, not a lot of the flavors have four tokens. So 3 out of the 6 points that I could have gotten is not bad at all. And actually getting that many chips to line up, like, that was pretty good. I'm really satisfied with that score. So that is Coffee Roaster. I hope that this was entertaining for you. I'm going to be making a video of how to play this game, starting on that later this evening. I've a bit behind on making a video for this game because I've been doing live streaming for Portal recently, which has been fun to dig into. I love being able to do this and just sit down and play a game really quickly. This game is awesome. If you have a chance, you should check it out. It's really quick to play. It has this amazing insert. Look at this thing. Look at how this thing is organized. So, like, every time you need to, switch out your chips and do things like that, you have this fantastic organization. Just don't turn this thing up. Like, if you place it like this, everything falls out. Your whole world just is ruined. But anyway, that was the Sierra Maestra blend, and that was Coffee Roaster. I hope that, once again, it was helpful watching this playthrough. I hope it was entertaining. And be sure to check back for more. I'll do more live streaming from time to time. Because I really enjoy doing this. And if you have any questions, you can leave a comment on this video once it's posted, or you can send them to the dicyreview@gmail.com. And then whenever I finish this video showing how to play this game, I'll post that as well, so you can get kind of a more condensed rules explanation than a 40-minute rules explanation. But thanks so much for watching, everybody. I hope this is helpful, and until next time.